Hi, welcome back. I hope you found that exercise really beneficial. The next stage of this exercise, I want you to put yourself in your ex's shoes and imagine the budget that they're going to be asking for, or the potential different budgets they might ask for. And the reason you need to look at this is you need to think, how much are you realistically going to have coming in from both of you, right? Um, Between maybe your salary and their salary, or even if it's just their salary and maybe some child benefits on your side, what's the full pot of money that you really are going to have based on your net worth and based on your statement of means from both sides? Because both of you are going to want a comfortable place to live, a comfortable place that your children can stay in, and a place that's also going to suit them as they grow, right? So, as I said beforehand, if you have boy and girl, or children who are going to need their own bedrooms eventually, how are both of you going to be able to afford that and grow with that? And it's very difficult to get that right at the beginning because usually the pot of money isn't big enough to support two homes, and all the different things that each home needs. So you need to start thinking about what will your ex need to live off of themselves as well to have a stable and comfortable enough life, because the courts are going to look at that. They're going to want both of you to have comfortable lives, comfortable place for the children to be able to stay. You It's going to be very difficult if your ex has to share accommodation with someone else for them to be able to have the children stay over with them. If they can't afford to live in a place by themselves and they have to share accommodation, how are you going to feel about the children staying with them with other strangers in the house that you don't know? Um, but you do need that time for yourself too. One of the best pieces of advice my lawyer gave me was, don't try to get full access to the children, because unless there was a really good reason for their safety, you're going to need some time for yourself in the future for your own life, and maybe for someone else to come into your life in the future. So you want to be able to share the children with your ex most of the time. You're going to want that so that you can progress with your own life as well. And if they're having to share accommodation with someone else because they can't afford a place for themselves, it's not really in your interest either. So a lot of courts are going to try to divide out that piece of money, that pot of money, as equally between the two of you as possible. And at the end, you have to put the children at the center of this. What's going to be in their best interests? They want to see both parents most of the time. They want to be loved by both parents, and they want a comfortable place to stay when they're with each parent. So you need to try and think realistically about how that pot is going to be shared out. And what we're going to talk about afterwards is career and how can we increase that pot of money on both sides so that you are able to have a more comfortable life afterwards. For now, anyway, it's good to kind of think about the budget that your ex is realistically going to need as well. And that will also help you decide, where do you really want to live? Where can you afford to live? What school you need to maybe move the children to, or can you keep them in the same school? So as you put both budget, you look at the whole pot of money that you have and put two budgets side by side, and think about, how can you share things? For example, can you share jackets and shoes but have clothes in each household? Can you share one childminder for them after school and you both contribute to that same person? What are the different holidays that you might be able to, like, I've shared holidays with my ex, not that we were staying in the same place together, but we rented a place for maybe 2 or 3 weeks. So it was cheaper because we rented it for a longer period of time. I stayed there for the first week or so. He stayed there for the second week or so while I went off somewhere else. There's different things you can start sharing potentially in the future to reduce costs as well. So much to think about, so many different options, depending on your relationship, and things will probably change as the years progress and you're separated or divorced for longer, and things will become a lot easier. So just think about it from their perspective and think about what you can realistically do, and go back to your own budgets and think about them again. There's a lot of over and back in this process to get to something that's more in line with what you can realistically do and in line with your future self in 5 years' time.